he's not going to pull the trigger. He might not even pay someone to do so, but like releasing that song Who Shot You, that creates an atmosphere, creating certain things and planting seeds in somebody else's mind to be number one, where Tupac ends up getting killed, Biggie ends up being killed. Who becomes number one? P. Diddy, Puff Daddy. Could that have been tactics for then to take off the people who were competition for him to take it all? Or is that a bit far-fetched?
Well, I'm trying to believe that he's not that bright. But anything's possible. I was told this, that it wasn't only a driver that shot Tupac, or if it was a driver who shot Tupac. You know, you hear a lot of stories like, I thought it was Dre, I thought they was in the car, but then I also thought, because I was told by somebody who was there, that somebody ran up on the car and shot Tupac. And I never told nobody. I told 3 or 4 people, but I never let them release that to anybody or tell, you can't tell nobody that. You understand, like that?
The murder of Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G, continues to haunt the music industry and fans worldwide. Despite numerous investigations and theories, the case remains unsolved nearly 3 decades later. The tragic event occurred on March 9th, 1997, when Biggie was fatally shot in a drive-by attack in Los Angeles after attending a Vibe magazine after-party at the Petersen Automotive Museum. A new documentary, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, airing on Peacock, revisits this infamous case. The film explores the rise and controversies of Sean Diddy Combs, Biggie's mentor and the founder of Bad Boy Records. Among the revelations, Gene Deal, Combs' former bodyguard, shares unsettling claims, suggesting that Diddy might have been connected to the events leading to Biggie's murder. Deal, who worked closely with Diddy for over a decade, offers insights into the atmosphere surrounding the murder and raises questions about Diddy's actions and decisions during that period. According to Gene Deal, the days leading up to Biggie's death were marked by unusual behavior from Diddy. Deal recalls a growing sense of anxiety and tension around the hip-hop mogul. This unease was particularly evident as Diddy appeared adamant about ensuring Biggie's presence at the Vibe party, despite the rapper's expressed intentions to travel to London. Deal notes that this insistence stood out, given Biggie's reluctance and the escalating dangers tied to the East Coast-West Coast feud. The timing and circumstances of the party announcement added to Deal's concerns. He recounts receiving a sudden call instructing him to prepare for the event, which he found troubling due to the lack of security arrangements. Deal, having witnessed the fallout from the feud between Bad Boy Records and Death Row Records, strongly believed that attending the party posed significant risks. The murder of Tupac Shakur just 6 months earlier had heightened tensions within the hip-hop community, making any public appearance fraught with danger. The events of that night unfolded with chilling rapidity. After leaving the Vibe party, Deal and Diddy traveled in one vehicle, while Biggie rode in a separate car. As they made their way to another after-party, gunfire erupted. Biggie, seated in his GMC Suburban, was struck by multiple bullets in what Deal describes as a targeted attack. Despite the chaos, Deal recalls instructing others to keep Biggie conscious, emphasizing the importance of keeping him awake and talking. However, the severity of Biggie's injuries became apparent as they rushed him to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, located just a short distance away. Deal described this brief journey as agonizingly long, underscoring the helplessness and despair of that moment. Biggie succumbed to his injuries less than an hour after arriving at the hospital. The loss was immediate and profound, leaving those present, including Diddy, in a state of shock. Deal recalls Diddy's stunned reaction upon learning of Biggie's death, describing him as visibly shaken and struggling to process the reality of the situation. In the documentary, Deal expresses his belief that Diddy's actions in the days and hours leading up to Biggie's death warrant scrutiny. While he stops short of outright accusing Diddy of direct involvement, he suggests that decisions made by the hip-hop mogul contributed to the tragic outcome. Deal highlights Diddy's insistence on attending the party despite warnings about the risks, as well as the lack of adequate security measures. These observations have fueled speculation about whether Diddy's motivations or knowledge extended beyond what has been publicly acknowledged. Deal's perspective is informed by his years of close proximity to Diddy, making his claims particularly compelling, though still lacking concrete evidence to substantiate direct involvement. Diddy has consistently denied any involvement in the murders of both Biggie and Tupac. His legal team has issued statements dismissing the allegations raised in the documentary as baseless. The documentary itself avoids making definitive claims, with its producers emphasizing that they aimed to present the perspectives of those involved without asserting the truth of their statements. These allegations come at a tumultuous time for Diddy, who is currently incarcerated and awaiting trial on federal charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution. The additional scrutiny brought by Deal's claims adds to the negative publicity surrounding him and raises concerns about its potential impact on jury selection and public perception in his upcoming trial. Biggie's murder occurred during the height of the infamous East Coast-West Coast feud, which pitted Diddy's Bad Boy records against Suge Knight's Death Row records. The rivalry, which had already claimed the life of Tupac Shakur in September 1996, created a volatile environment in the hip-hop community. Several alternative theories have been proposed regarding Biggie's murder. Some believe it was an act of retaliation for Tupac's death, orchestrated by individuals associated with Death Row Records. Others have implicated Suge Knight directly, alleging that he collaborated with corrupt LAPD officers to carry out the attack. Gene Deal's latest allegations add another layer to this complex narrative, shifting focus onto Diddy's possible role. However, Deal's claims stand in contrast to earlier reports, including an FBI file that suggested Diddy might have been the intended target of the attack. This discrepancy highlights the difficulty of separating fact from speculation in a case that has been shrouded in mystery for decades. The murder of the Notorious B.I.G. sent shockwaves through the music industry and beyond. At just 24 years old, Biggie had already cemented his status as one of hip-hop's greatest artists. His work, including hits like Mo Money Mo Problems and Hypnotize, remains influential, and his legacy continues to be celebrated. Biggie's funeral in Brooklyn drew thousands of mourners, reflecting the profound impact he had on fans and peers alike. For Diddy, the loss was deeply personal and professionally significant. As Biggie's mentor and collaborator, Diddy's career was closely tied to his protégé's success. Following Biggie's death, Diddy released the tribute single I'll Be Missing You, which became a global hit and further cemented his role in preserving Biggie's legacy. Despite the passage of time, the murder of the Notorious B.I.G. remains a source of fascination and frustration. The lack of arrests and definitive answers has allowed rumors and theories to persist, with each new revelation adding to the complexity of the case. Gene Deal's claims, while significant, do not provide the concrete evidence needed to resolve the mystery. Critics of Deal's allegations argue that the timing raises questions about his motivations. Coming nearly 3 decades after the murder, his statements lack corroboration from law enforcement or other witnesses. This skepticism underscores the challenges of revisiting high-profile cases where memories and narratives may evolve over time. The new claims by Gene Deal in Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, reignite interest in the unsolved murder of the Notorious B.I.G. While Deal's account offers a unique perspective, it also raises more questions than it answers. The lack of substantiated evidence makes it difficult to determine whether Diddy's actions were simply ill-advised or indicative of deeper involvement. With so many unanswered questions and loopholes in the story, It's clear that this case will remain one of hip-hop's biggest mysteries for years to come. Was it the East Coast-West Coast feud, a personal betrayal, or something even deeper we're yet to uncover? The truth might still be out there, but until then, all we can do is connect the dots and keep the conversation alive. Let us know in the comments what you think. Did Deal's story make you rethink everything? Or do you think there's more to the story than meets the eye? See you again in the next video. Bye.